Why does your mind replay conversations long after they're over? Why do you analyze tone, pauses, facial expressions, and words that most people forget within minutes? Why does your brain turn small decisions into exhausting mental debates? Why do you lie awake at night questioning things that already happened and things that haven't even happened yet? And here's the question that quietly drives overthinkers crazy. The one we'll answer fully at the end of this video. If overthinking is so painful, why does your brain refuse to stop doing it? Stay with me until the end, because the answer isn't what most people think, and understanding it may completely change how you see your mind. If content like this resonates with you, make sure you subscribe to this channel for deep dives into human emotions, psychology, mental patterns, and healing that actually explains what's happening inside you. Now let's talk about why it truly sucks to overthink everything. Overthinking is not just thinking too much. It's a full-body experience. It's mental looping, emotional tension, and nervous system overload all happening at once. It's your brain trying to solve problems that don't always have solutions. It's your mind searching for certainty in a world that rarely offers it. Most overthinkers don't overthink because they want to. They overthink because their brain believes it has to. Psychologically, overthinking is closely linked to anxiety, heightened self-awareness, emotional sensitivity, and past experiences where unpredictability felt unsafe. When your brain learns early on that outcomes can change suddenly, or that mistakes have consequences, it adapts by becoming hypervigilant. Thinking becomes a survival strategy. Your mind learns a simple rule: if I think enough, I can prevent pain. So you analyze, you rehearse conversations before they happen, you replay them afterward, you anticipate reactions, you imagine worst-case scenarios, you try to control outcomes through thought alone. But here's the cruel irony. The very thing your brain does to protect you slowly becomes the thing that exhausts you. Overthinking hijacks your attention. Instead of being present, you're mentally time-traveling. You're in the past, critiquing what you said, or you're in the future, preparing for things that might never happen. Rarely are you just here. And that constant mental activity activates the stress response. Cortisol levels rise. Muscles stay tense. Your nervous system doesn't get the signal that it's safe to rest. This is why overthinkers often feel tired even without doing much physically. One of the worst parts of overthinking is decision paralysis. Simple choices feel heavy. You worry about making the wrong move, saying the wrong thing, choosing the wrong path. You weigh every option endlessly. And sometimes you don't choose at all, not because you're incapable, but because your brain is overwhelmed by possibilities. This creates self-doubt. You start questioning your instincts. You second-guess your intuition. You trust your mind less, even though it's constantly active. Another reason overthinking sucks is because it distorts reality. The brain under stress tends to magnify threats and minimize neutral or positive information. A short reply becomes rejection. Silence becomes disapproval. A small mistake becomes proof that you failed entirely. This is not because you're dramatic. It's because the overthinking brain is trying to predict danger. It's scanning for patterns that might help you avoid pain, even when there is no real threat present. Overthinking is also deeply connected to rumination. Rumination is the repetitive focus on distressing thoughts without resolution. Instead of problem solving, the mind loops. You don't feel better after thinking, you feel worse. And yet, stopping feels impossible. Why? Because your brain confuses thinking with control. Many overthinkers grew up in environments where emotions weren't validated, communication was unclear, or stability was inconsistent. In those environments, thinking ahead was necessary. Reading between the lines mattered. Predicting moods kept you safe. So your brain learned to stay alert. The problem is that your adult life may no longer require the same level of vigilance. but your nervous system hasn't updated the rulebook. This is why overthinking feels automatic. Thoughts appear before you can stop them. You don't choose to spiral. The spiral happens to you. Overthinking also affects relationships deeply. You may analyze texts, conversations, and interactions endlessly. You wonder what people meant, whether you said too much or too little, whether you're liked or tolerated. This can make relationships feel mentally exhausting instead of emotionally nourishing. And often, overthinkers blame themselves for this. They tell themselves they're too sensitive, too intense, too much in their head. But sensitivity and depth are not flaws. They become painful only when they're unsupported or misunderstood. Another painful aspect of overthinking is how lonely it feels. Your inner world is busy, loud, complex, but from the outside, no one sees it. People may tell you to just relax or stop thinking so much, not realizing that your brain doesn't have an off switch. And when you try to explain what's happening inside, words often fall short. How do you describe a mind that never rests? Overthinking also steals joy. Moments that could be simple become loaded with meaning. You analyze whether you're enjoying yourself enough. You question whether happiness will last. You anticipate loss even while things are good. This happens because the overthinking brain is future-focused. It struggles with uncertainty. It wants guarantees. And since life doesn't provide them, the mind keeps spinning. Now here's an important psychological truth that most people never hear. Overthinking is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of a highly active, protective mind that learned to survive through anticipation. The issue isn't that you think too much. It's that your brain doesn't know when to stop. And now we come to the burning question. If overthinking is so painful, why does your brain refuse to stop doing it? Here's the answer. Because overthinking once kept you safe. Your brain doesn't prioritize happiness. It prioritizes survival. And at some point in your life, thinking ahead, analyzing situations, and preparing for outcomes helped you avoid emotional pain, rejection, conflict, or chaos. The brain remembers this. It clings to what once worked, even when it no longer does. Overthinking is not your enemy. It's an outdated protection mechanism. The moment healing begins is when you stop fighting your mind and start teaching it safety in new ways. When you learn to ground yourself in the present. When you build trust in your ability to handle uncertainty. When you allow mistakes without self-punishment. You don't need to silence your thoughts. You need to reassure the part of you that believes thinking is the only way to stay safe. When that happens, your mind slowly learns to rest. If this video spoke to you, subscribe to this channel for more deep psychological explorations of emotions, anxiety, thought patterns, and healing. Your mind isn't broken. It's been protecting you the only way it knew how. And now, you get to teach it something new.